Hello, my name is Bruce Sawalski. I'm author of Canadian Wilderness Survival and chief instructor of the Boreal Wilderness Institute. And today I want to talk about supplemental aircraft survival gear. If you like to learn real survival knowledge, then please support me by following me on YouTube and liking this video. So I want to talk about supplemental aircraft survival gear. So this is the gear that you as a pilot, a crew member, or a passenger on a small aircraft or helicopter may want to think about taking extra. And that is in supplement to the survival gear carried on the plane or helicopter by law. In other words, in Canada, the Department of Transport requires you to carry. So let's talk about the first and foremost thing. Once you hit the ground, you are no longer a pilot, a crew member, or a passenger. You're a survivor. And you're in the same situation as anyone else stranded in the Canadian wilderness. Now, you have a good retrieval system as such, and the Royal Canadian Air Force will begin to initiate a rescue of you very quickly. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to freeze to death, get frostbite, get hypothermia as soon as you crawl out of the wreck at 40 below. Plus, you have a very big problem. You have the gear that's on you, and that's it, right? You're very unlikely to have anything else, which means you shouldn't be walking around in a Gucci suit when you're flying up to remote locations. You should be in proper clothing, dressed for those conditions. You should always have a toque. You should always have some kind of head over or scarf made of a decent material, so not of cotton. And you should have proper mitts, like these Primaloft mitts. These are coat mitts, so they're a two-layer system. There's the mitt inside, and there is the proper cover. Along with what? Proper winter boots, overpants, and a parka. Right? That's really the base stuff. You got to carry that stuff. You got to take that stuff. You get stuck outside. It's 20 below outside. It's 30 below outside. There's no remorse. You get if the aircraft or helicopter is intact, may get a little bit of wind protection from it. But that's it. No heat. No. It's just not going to happen that way. Now, when we talk about supplementing that clothing, what's the first and most important thing? A good fire kit, right? I talk about this in 2 separate videos. You can say that, done. That's it. I won't mention it anymore. Supplement that with what? A few chemical hand warmers. Why? Because these are lifesavers. That's heat. This is the one heat you can carry on an aircraft. You can throw a couple of hand warmers into your pockets and be done with it and have it there. On my parka, I just got a couple straight up there all the time. I carry them all the time. A good, high-quality headlamp, $20, $25. These headlamps are fantastic, and what does it mean? You have two-hand operations for doing your work, and you can work in the dark. And since the farther you go north, the darker it gets, the more you need light, right? You just got to be able to operate. You want to operate 24 hours a day. You're on the ground, it's going to take a few hours simply to get the wood to light a fire. A set of leather gloves, because the rest of our gloves are plastic, and we need fire-friendly gloves. So leather gloves aren't going away. Now, depending if you can carry it, or it has to go in your luggage, a decent survival knife. That makes a big, big difference. Really a big bonus. And what else? A little bit of high-energy food. So there is some Eat More chocolate bars. Why? Because high-energy food is something I'm going to need to do the hard work. Don't think that collecting wood out in the Taiga Plains or Taiga Shield is going to be easy, right? You're going to have a lot of work to do. And you might just get stuck in an area that has almost nothing, right? That happens. And then suddenly that is a lifesaver, right? It might only be 1,000 calories, but this 1,000 calories can make a huge, huge difference. And of course, yeah, I do like the Eat Mores. Why? Because they're the only chocolate bar you can eat at 40 below and 40 above. But in the end, anything you have that you can eat that will give you that quick energy to get through a survival situation, especially the first 4 hours, is going to make a big difference, right? And that's your supplemental gear. It's not a lot. Stuff it in your pockets, carry on. Remember, carry or take or wear, which is preferable, the proper clothing you really need if you get stranded. Supplement it with a little bit of basic gear. Fire lighting, a knife, a headlamp, some hand warmers. And then fire in a little bit of food energy to get you through what you know is going to be a trying time, right? Aircraft survival, it's a tough situation. You've gone from a beautiful, heated, wonderful environment instantly to a crash environment, which could have trauma and everything else, and suddenly outside into the wilderness in the environmental clothing or whatever you happen to be wearing in that beautiful environment. It happens like that, and it's always bad. So, if you like useful life-saving survival knowledge you learned on this channel, please support me by following me on YouTube, listening and liking other videos on this channel, especially those ones that are aircraft related if you're a pilot or a crew member, and by following me on Boreal Wilderness Institute on Facebook. Thank you, stay safe, and remember, if you're stranded in the wilderness, then just stop and survive.